What's up, Internet? Welcome back to the Roottrees Are Dead. In the last episode, we got the smoking guns. So we've locked in our entire infidelity chart, which is great. So everybody's in. Now what we have to do, which we didn't really investigate too much, because I didn't want to get into it, is to basically determine whether everybody that we've seen is a possible Rootree. I find this interesting. So, right, if Mark is a Rootree, that means everybody that was in his family line is also a Rootree, right? So that we don't have to individually investigate everyone, obviously. Right, so David Fellows, the two Garland brothers. So one of them is, one of them is not. We've basically, so we've done the legwork, I think, a little bit. They're twins, so either they're together or they're not. Flavio Soares, possibly. And right, that doesn't have anything to do with it. And then we have our optional people. So Guy Hudson had one more affair with someone else. And I think what's so interesting, I don't know what this involves. But there's more. There are pictures. So there's more evidence to find, and I know that because I metagaming slightly. I haven't gotten the achievement for finding all the evidence in this section of the game yet. So I am not going to even attempt to do this until I have pictures. So obviously the game is going to give it to us a little bit more than we did. I'm also curious about, actually, how does this lock in? Because there's the previous game had the confirm, like you had to confirm the ending. This does not have that, so I wonder, does it work if we just do it? Interesting. Okay, there's also one thing I wanted to look up before we get into any of this, which is, I noticed when I was editing, there was a mention of a best of Jim and Diamond. A best of album did get released to CD during Rootree Mania. Yeah, okay. I thought that maybe the best of would be something I can get. Oh. Nope. Okay, cool. So now we just have to re-examine some evidence. We have to see, also interesting that these two, I like the idea that you could maybe forget that there are twins. So yeah, we have more evidence to find, obviously. So only through the notable events do I have anything I can find more evidence, which is interesting. I think we start with the easy one. Stewart is the easiest one because if I remember correctly, Stewart doesn't have Stewart is definitely not not Best Williams, Mary Beth. Stewart I don't think is at all possible to be a Rootree. She adopted 2 children. She's been divorced twice, both times to Sterling. And now if I bring her right into Butler County, she was mentioned 2 times, though the first visit from 1949, Miracle Congregation welcomes Mary Beth Clementine with open arms. The article mentions that the church's leader was moved when he heard Mary Beth's recording of one of his favorite hymns, His Eyes on the Sparrow. She and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home. Yeah, so I don't think that Stewart is a Rootree. Oh, cool. Oh, so it doesn't. This is awesome. This like this thing that collects. Oh, does it list all of our evidence? 6 out of 6. Is not a root tree. But it's impossible to prove. So we choose one of them. So they are a blood relative. They're not a root tree, or it might be a root tree, but it's impossible to prove. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they are, because if this is true, the first time that Miracle would have seen Mary Beth, she already had a son that was adopted. So he's not a root tree, 100%. Okay, that's one. Mark, on the other hand, I feel less confirmed about. So Tostarito Jacobson, right, Tostarito Jacobson used to be named Lucinda. Lucinda is the sisters with Edith Jacobson, who is in the Miracle Tree. They bailed him out. Gospel singer once bear, whatever. Right. How about... She was specifically there to detail her experience to going to adopt Stuart. Right. This whole thing is weird because it's like, oh, Right, crocodile. There's a whole thing about Mark coming out of an unusual circumstance. And that to me is like Miracle's hiding it, right? Yeah. I think you are a blood relative. Technically, it might be impossible to prove, but this is a hard option to give us because it's like technically we're not proving anything. Unless we have birth records, technically we're not proving anything, but I think out of anything, this is a pretty strong case for him being a blood relative. I don't know when this stuff gets locked in, so I'm just going to start putting this in. Oh. Okay, so it is going to give us if we found stuff or not. I like that, actually. I respect that the game is... Yeah, look, there's stuff we haven't found yet. What the hell? Okay. Copy. So, let's only do the ones that we have all the evidence for. So we found 6 out of 6. I feel pretty confident if Miracle is paying off his bail, he's a blood relative. He cares enough about his estranged son. Stuart, not a blood relative. This family is 100%. So Stuart is not in the tree. All of these people by proxy are part of this family. Frank Williams. We should have... Yeah, that's... Who's Beth? And I know that, like, the dates on this are going to be important. So she dies in 1926. And then when did... Yeah, so this is just about Beth being at all. And then Bess came to Wright Family Man in or around in and around 1921, right? Yeah, that checks out, because then if her young son would have been there at her funeral in 1926, right? That's what it said. I'm getting confused. There's too much information now. Here, yeah. And what did I do? It was the periodicals, right? So periodicals, the Miami Mercury, Bess Williams. Now, when Bess's young son, so he would have been 7-ish. And then in 49, so then he's what, 28? Yeah. That makes sense. Post-military? I think there's no reason that he isn't a Rootree. I don't know if it's impossible to prove, but it's certainly very possible. Again, I don't know what's going to happen when if I put all this in. And there's still evidence I haven't found. That's, to me, is crazy. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, I haven't been doing my research, I guess. All right, you know what I'm gonna do, because I've had this, some people put this in the comments. Where is it? Yeah, the search all for periodicals, I feel like might be useful here now, just so I can like get through everything, so I don't have to click through everything. If I feel like I'm going to continuously be doing that, then maybe that's the move. This is the only other one that I have all the evidence for, so let's try that. Where is the mention of Susie? There it is. He sent his mistress, Susie, into the bathroom to proposition me. So she was his mistress. Their mom was Guy Hudson's mistress. The whole thing about Thomas Hughes was apparently the instruction came in. Hughes, according to the reporter, Mr. Hughes was convinced he was not the father of the current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school agreed not to press charges. He was convinced that he was not the father. Susan Ford's no longer employed by 1982. Guy Hudson dies that year. And that's it, huh? That's all the information I get whether to determine whether they're Roottrees or not. I feel like they're potentially Roottrees, but it's not possible. I can't believe there's still clues to find. DNA test proved he was related to Guy Hudson. So, I mean, 5Ps is a blood relative. But we just haven't found all his clues yet. In terms of Min... God, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to get all this evidence. What am I even supposed to be looking for? I think I have to look for Ruby Spratt, but because that's my current guess. Is that's what the game has kind of sent me on. Oh, hello. So she grew up in foster care. And is there a mention? There was a mention of him with her. Yeah, I mean, I need pictures, right? Like, where am I getting... Ooh, I wonder, actually, hold on. Where was he... Where was he an orphan at? Does it ever say that? Foster care... Right. The article calls it that all the performers and speakers, with the exception of the mayor, were foster care alumni. Most of them grew up together as close friends. This includes poets, musicians, and dancers. So 5Ps was there. Yeah. Nope. Kind of going in circles here. What if, let's go in a completely different direction. Let's go with Bonnie Hudson. Okay, that didn't work. And then how about... So it's Bonnie Hudson and Patricia Jones. Let's try Patricia Jones in a bunch of different places. Let's go with Portland. I'm also probably going to want to try Patricia Hudson now that I think about it. Aha, okay. So that's not updated, but that's okay. How about on spider search? Nope. I'm expecting to get like one, oh, what? Wait. What the fuck? Why are they on here? Oh, shit. Really? Oh, I didn't even think about looking into them. Because they're in the box. They were the original version of this. Where we don't actually know. Wow. Okay, wait. We don't even have half of the... We don't even have half the evidence we thought we were going to have. Whoa, I have to re-reflect on all of this. Okay, wow, I'm just overwhelmed now. I didn't expect the amount of evidence I didn't have. Let's just take a look at this for a second. These are all of the things that I have. This is the only one that I could find evidence for. It's probably related to 5Ps in some way, right? Wonder if we just 5Ps it for everything. It's confirmed to be a root tree. Now that we have a bunch of other outlets too, we might as well try it. Yep. Picatee. Portland. What is it? Dirty? How do you spell Dirty Davy? How did he spell it? Dirty Devil. Dirty Davy. Got it. Oh, here we go. No, never mind. It's the same. So, fuck. God damn it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get anything. Yeah, this is hard because I don't know where to even go. So, confirm no, probably yes, probably yes, almost definitely yes. And this isn't typing it in. Ruby is on here. That's the thing that's throwing me. I think that Ruby's on here. Spratt. She's a lawyer. There's another picture and she's married to someone. So if Ruby's on here, we will have... Oh, Anonymom. Oh, okay. So this, I get it. I'm glad that it did that because I wouldn't have known. So Ruby may be this person, but we've had some... What evidence did we have of this? So it's giving us company records, which is interesting. And then it is also giving us the Anonymom side. So... But we've done this deep dive. I forget where this led, though. It led to... Yeah, Corinne Schwartz, right? That was the person? She's not Anonymom. Let's go to... Right. This might be the one evidence I'm missing. Right? With this. That's because that's where all the pictures are going to end up being. Courtney May. Anonymous worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina. Her daughter's name was Courtney May. And then what did that last one just say? So Corinne Schwartz, she's in Pennsylvania, so maybe Butler County has something. It's impossible for her to be a non-mom. Right, but if the company records... And this is someone hired in the Guy Hudson world. It could be Beatrice Watts. So let's try Caroline whatever Watts, right? Courtney May Watts. Let's just go spider searching. Aha! Courtney May has a simple website with black text on a white background and a few images. From the view counter, you could tell you're one of only a few hundred people who's visited it. She's not shy about claiming she's Jane Doe Roottrie. As proof, she's posted an unobscured cover from the time she was featured on News Time, as well as a different picture of herself that appears to be a wedding photo. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother, who has been the target of public scrutiny. Under the headline, The True Story of Jane Doe Roottrie, courtesy of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Okay, hold on. So, where is Anonymom? Didn't we have a page for this? I guess not. Let's do it. Okay, so Courtney May. First of all, just to get the page, Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Everyone has everything wrong. My mom approached the Roottries before 5Ps was ever on the cover of News Time. Nobody at the Roottree Company took us seriously. They only listened to us after we appeared on TV and in magazines. The site has a scanned letter from the Ruby Legal Group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice. In very polite so Courtney May's mother is Beatrice. Cool, we knew that. That's how we got here. In very polite legal terms, it seems to accuse her of exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottries alone. It's dated from a few weeks before the 5Ps article appeared in News Time, and it seems legitimate. Courtney May also discusses her mother's magazine in feature in more detail. Do you know how difficult it was to convince anyone to tell our story? My mom didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying because her story was just like 5Ps's, but my mom's story was first. Mom was advised by Ryan and Cork. Okay, we'll look at that one up. To tell News Time that seeing 5Ps on the cover was what inspired her to go public, but that's the only way News Time would agree to it and help her get on TV, but it's not true. Our story was first. Courtney's defense continues, but much of it seems repetitive and useless. Towards the end of her page, she discusses the DNA test and defends her mother's character. My mom is amazing. She's the nicest woman in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so that I could stay with my high school sweetheart. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college, but I'm beginning to think it's all a lie. Mom is 100% confident that there's nobody else who could be the father. Mom is 100% confident there's nobody else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong or DNA is complete BS. She's not a liar. So Ruby could have thrown out the hair or whatever they're using to do. So she very well could be. And in fact, that throws into question even if are you... I have to take you off. I can't believe that. The one that is confirmed might not even be correct. Jesus. Okay, so But we're going to know who these are. So this is Beatrice Watts. You're a department store worker, so a retail worker. You'll have a picture in a second. You're going to be Courtney May Watts. I don't know yet. And then, is that the end of the... Yes, okay. And now... Nice. Courtney May and Danny, together forever, just married. Let's see what they say about the ambulance. I'm curious about that. Courtney May Watts posted this photo on her website to prove her identity. It appears to be a wedding photo of hers. Oh, and here's the actual photo. Okay. Here's the original unobscured cover photo from the Newstime feature on Jane Doe Roottrie and her anonymous mother. You found it on Courtney May Watts' website. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college. Okay. What is Ryan and Cork? Ryan and Cork is an unremarkable law firm based in North Carolina named after its senior partners, Winston Ryan and Gregory Cork. Okay. Moments. The firm mostly handles local cases and recently represented Anonymom. Their website has a section about the case, including a scan of the DNA results that proved Jane Doe Roottrie was not a Roottrie. Oh. This is a DNA test you got from the website for the law firm Ryan and Cork. The test says that there was virtually no chance that Anonymom's daughter was Courtney May was a Roottrie. It lists that DNA from a Jane Doe was tested against the DNA of Molly Kellogg, nee Hudson, Guy's twin sister. Ryan and Cork, who were representing Anonymom, have confirmed that the sample they sent to the Rootrees was definitely Courtney May's hair. The test is from a company called DNA Techo, and a doctor has circled the results and signed the paper. Adrian Rowland. And she would be Bonnie Kellogg, right? That is true. That's not a crazy inconsistency. Bonnie Kellogg, yes. Okay. So cool. This is for photos that I got. Oh, not that one. How about this guy? This is giving us, obviously this is a hole that we're gonna fall down. Just checking on. Okay, so we're at a half hour already. Let's keep going though, because I'm curious about where this leads. Okay, so I'm assuming that if I go with Winston Ryan, it's not gonna do anything. Okay, and now I do want to look up before I forget. Where is that photo? Hello, come on. Why can't I find it? What the hell? Oh, here it is. Okay. So Danny. His name is Danny Newton. I'm curious if I'm gonna... No, probably because then Daniel Newton, you look like this. You look like... Well, it's both, but you're this person. You're a nurse. Your other picture is this one. We'll see about you. You have the red hair, that's for sure. You have 8 possible Rootrees left to identify. Does that change if I do this? Yes, okay. So we have to put something in, and then it maybe we'll say, like, we can confirm it. Got it. Okay, so we just have to get all of it together, which is scary. That is very, very scary. Okay, so let's keep going down the rabbit hole. Yup. DNA Techo pronounced Dynatico. Dynatico? Wow. Okay, is a DNA testing company. DNA testing is a relatively new phenomenon that allows scientific laboratories to provide a possible family relationship between two people. It's fairly cutting edge. The method by which they test samples has only become standard in the last decade, as of the early 90s. According to their site, Dynatico was responsible for the DNA test that proved Felix Fellows was a root tree, and even used it as an example of how a DNA test looks. They use it to provide some information about their process, and I know exactly how this is going to happen. It's going to be also against Bonnie Kellogg's hair, but it's going to be the wrong numbers. It's going to be two different samples. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID, which is why it says David instead of Felix. Because Guy Hudson is dead and there's no known DNA source for Guy, they tested Felix's hair versus a sample sent from the Roottrees. It's listed as Jane Doe because it wasn't collected in person, but the Rootree company let them know it was from Bonnie Kellogg, Guy's sister. This is why it says a paternal aunt test. The left and right sets of numbers are essentially signatures that perfectly match the DNA of the two people in question and nobody else. The way the test works is that if certain parts of the signature are shared, then it's very likely two people are related. As far as you can tell, Dynatico is a legitimate company. They don't seem to have any reason to create fake results or hide the truth. Okay, still, let's look. Combined relatedness X as 0.99. We have to look up the doctor too. The probability of relatedness is 99% compared to what? 0.005. Okay, so this one, Jane Doe, which is allegedly Bonnie, but we don't actually know that for sure. 1616, 1616, 1111, 1212, 88, 1010, 2029, 1919, 10, 14, 14. So there's a number that's shared amongst each one of these. Got it. And that's David Fellows. Okay, so knowing this, 15, 16, 9, 11, 12, 6, 8. Let's take a look at the other one. Well, hold on. We're gonna have to like compare them against each other. So T-Pox is 4 and 5 for Bonnie. Yeah, these are wrong. They're inherently different people. So if this is Bonnie, if this is for sure Bonnie, then the other one is wrong. Now it's just about, did they lie on the Jane Doe or did they lie on Bonnie Hudson? Let's go with Adrian Rowland. No, really? I'm surprised about that. Let's try elsewhere. Am I spelling it right? Adrian with an A, Rowland. Mercury, News Time, Piketty, Portland, Silver Screen, Telephoto. He's not going to be in the other ones. It's not worth it. Okay. DNA Techo. Maybe we just try DNA Techo on some of the other stuff too. How about Business Watch, huh? Nope. News Time, Piketty. Those are the ones that really matter. Okay, so that was the evidence that we needed. Yeah, it throws a lot of stuff into question, right? If the DNA tests aren't accurate. What are they saying about Ruby? Where is that piece here? According to Clark, Ruby Spratt, the company's lawyer, was caught throwing away the DNA samples from Body Hudson. These were intended to be used to test new potential Roottrees. Something doesn't sit right with Sam, and the two of them asked for your help. Additionally, with the suspicion on Ruby Spratt, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt. A new section of the tree has been added for you to fill in. Yep. Okay. And then there's the whole Ron and Robbie situation, which is so interesting. Which I wouldn't have thought about. All right, there's a lot to look into. But hey, here we go. We've gotten people. We've filled out the chart. Now we just have to kind of like really eke out any other evidence we can get and see what's left on the table. But until then, we're gonna pause it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.